We got some complaints that I'm not loud enough.
Yeah, but you're not speaking into the little green dot that's in front of you. That's the thing.
So for my people that know me and know how loud I am, I'm gonna go full loud today.
Extra loud.
Yep.
What's up, everybody? Thank you. We have a pretty interesting topic.
Welcome to Reform Nerd, where we talk all things anime, video games, Bible, church, things going on in the world. We do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think officially Monday nights have become like our thoughts on whatever is going on outside of anime, and then throughout the week we're getting more like anime stuff.
Yeah.
Mainly. Although I do have some anime questions that we're gonna hit at the end of this.
That's cool. That's cool.
So today, guys, we have a pretty interesting video for you guys that we want to go over. It has to do with this girl decided to do and we're gonna get into. We're gonna watch the video, but she was a Christian, ended up wanting to be a whore and show her body on OnlyFans.
I gotta have you read the YouTube like things that you can and cannot say.
You know what? To be honest, I'm not looking to be making money off of this stuff anyway, so I'm not too concerned. So.
That's all I need to know. They could just start.
Yeah, well, I mean, good thing we don't swear like that. But anyway, right? So she decided to be a whore and show off her body on OnlyFans and have men look at her and give her money. I mean, she made a ton of money. She had her come to Jesus moment, repented, and the most interesting part, at least for me, I'm curious to see for you, is that when she came back to the faith, her parents that are Christian at this point in time do not want anything to do with her still. So we're going to be talking about all of this in just a second. Any other thoughts you want to share before we get this party started?
There's so much. I mean, it depends on what you mean starts with, but I think about the redemption saga of this girl, right? Like, this is major to be part of like the top 1%. She was making a stupid amount of money,
insane amount of money, yep.
And then to give it all up for Jesus, that's huge. Number one. Yep. And then she threw away like all her expensive clothes and stuff like that she purchased with it. So it's like, this is somebody that has like true commitment. This is really like hey, I don't care what the world thinks to be able to do this.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see,
dude.
I think it's still the verdict is still out. Let's check in on her in like 3 years and see how that's going.
Bro, just the simple fact that she gave up her only source of income. That's big, and to throw away all the stuff that comes along with it.
After making like 10+ million, so I don't think it's that big
but
of
still,
a hit.
Right? Like I think about it like this. Before we start the video.
Okay, quickly, so we can start.
You got all these rappers that claim to have been selling drugs or doing all these different things, and so they turn their lives around, but they still keep everything that they had. They still keep all these connections. This girl did the complete opposite. She said, "I'm done with that. No more money from that. Everything that I had, I'm getting rid of." It's a big change.
I don't think she gave up all her money though.
Probably not.
I'm pretty sure she kept it. She kept that blood money.
Let's see. I mean, I haven't followed up with this, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious to see where she's at like 5 years from now. But anyways, let's see a couple of clips and we'll talk about them. So, get your questions queued up.
This is What Do You Meme? Nope, wrong one. There you go.
So if you watched my previous video on this topic, then you saw that she was a pastor's daughter that ended up becoming a multimillionaire from making adult content on OnlyFans. She found herself in the top 0.01% of creators, making her one of the most successful in the entire world. And then her recent interview with Michael Knowles, she explained how her last talk with her parents went right before she moved to California to do adult content full time.
And we were just out on my porch in my apartment. And my mom didn't say a word to me the whole time when I was, like, they knew I was moving the next day, but didn't say anything to me, wouldn't even look at me. And my dad was just kind of like trying to come to terms with it verbally, but I wasn't saying anything because I was like, I don't know what you're trying to work out here, but I don't like know what you want me to say. Like, I know you disapprove. I just want to know if you still love me.
Yeah.
But I didn't ask that directly. But the one thing that my mom said before they walked out the door was just like, I hope you're happy in your endeavors. And then just left. And it broke my heart, truly.
Ooh.
So.
But she must have been in some immense pain.
Absolutely.
Probably felt a bit of guilt. Oh.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Reaction so far. Like, what would you if you had a child?
Yeah.
And they go to you.
Yeah.
And this is what they tell you they want to do with their life. Like, I mean, at this point, though, like, I don't blame her parents. Like, what do you say to that? Besides, I don't approve. Like,
I mean, it shows a lot of respect for her parents, like, after the fact, because there's also a lot of parents that are like, I don't respect what my kid is doing, and then when they start bringing in the money, they're like, oh, all right, well, you know, keep on doing your thing. No, it's true, man. So it's like, you know, the parents at least have enough self-worth to understand that it's like, I'm not going to partake on this money and how it, I can't even find the word. It's more of like, they know that the money is wrong to even partake in, and they have enough self-sense to say that even though the money's free, we still don't want it from you.
yeah, you know, I think the interesting thing for me is that, and I don't, like, this is why, like, I don't know how I would handle this, because it's like she wanted to know, oh, do you still love me? And it's like, what does that even mean? Like, how do you treat someone that has changed their life so drastically?
Well, you would still love
like,
the person.
Yeah, but what does that actually mean? You know what I mean? Like, am I going to pretend that everything is fine and am I going to have you over? Are we going to pretend like everybody's happy? Like, what does that mean? Do you still love me? Like, obviously, I care about you and I don't want anything bad to happen to you, but how does that look like at a relational level, you know?
You can still love somebody, but
it's not gonna be like fairies and like butterflies or whatever.
No, of
like,
course
you know,
not.
like,
I mean, within love, you can also have healthy boundaries. Like, if you have a friend, for example, that you care for, but they're drug dealing, as an example, even though they're involved in that, you can still love them, but you know better than to hang out with them.
yeah, I don't know, bro. If I had if one of my kids was a drug dealer, I don't think I would let them into the house.
Oh no, you shouldn't.
I'd be
because
like, no, not even because of the, just, I don't want you in my house. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't want you around the rest of the kids. What if you influence them? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I love you and I wish you the best, but at the same time, like, your actions have consequences, you know?
No, of course.
Like, we're not gonna sit here and pretend like everything is fine when you're doing
craziness. Like I know a family, for example, two cousins. One is like 5 or 6 years older than the younger one. And the family will always tell the younger one, yo, watch out with this cousin. He's a bit of a troublemaker, all these different things. And the younger one, you know, still tried to reach out. At least in this case, the younger one never got influenced. But the younger one also knew it's like, hey, I got to be careful around with you. You don't hang out with the right people. I mean, it's all really relative to what the age is and stuff like that. Because after a certain point, you know, you're going to be an adult. Like, if you know you got a family member that isn't doing the right thing, but you still care and love them and you still want to be able to see them, even though you're not approving with what they're doing, you know, there are certain boundaries that you can enter within that don't cross those boundaries.
Yeah, let me present this, right? Like,
Yeah.
have you ever heard that saying, like, there's a person that's, like, let's say a bully, right? There's a person actually bullying.
Yes.
But if you're standing there and not doing anything to stop them, then you're complicit.
Yeah.
So in a sense, if I'm not doing anything to stop my daughter from doing this and I'm just like having her over, pretending that things are fine, showing, quote unquote, like showing her love, then like, am I not complicit in the actions that she's taken? You know what I mean? Like that's always been like, God forbid I never have to deal with something like this. But at the same time, I wonder, like, how would you truly handle a situation like that? You know, because even there are Pauline letters that talk about like, take no part in any evil, especially when it comes to like sexual immorality. It tells you like, stay away from it.
Yes.
So in this case, like, as a parent, knowing that your daughter is being a whore, like, do you stay away from them? You know, like, and how do you at the same time love them and try to witness when you can. You know, it's a very muddy situation, and to truly, I don't know how I would handle that. And I'm curious to hear what you guys think, those that are watching at the moment.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, there's a difference between breaking bread with somebody all the time and still being able to, you know, get with them and talk with them. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, in a situation with her, right? Like, if this was my daughter, for example, I wouldn't want to take any money from them. But I'm not going to completely ostracize them either, because those are still opportunities. You can still evangelize to them.
Are they? Don't waste your pearls on swine. So if they're not willing to listen, then what are you doing hanging around them?
Hey, man.
I don't know,
but the
like,
reverse.
It sounds harsh, but like,
no, it does. But you got to think about it. The reverse still works, though, because obviously that person is, like, in this case, she was still looking for acceptance from her parents. This isn't, for example.
But you don't want her to feel that acceptance because you don't accept what she's doing.
But let me finish, man. Jeez. This is the thing.
This is a discussion on this one. It's a back and forth.
So for me, it's more the fact that she's still looking for some type of acknowledgement and for some type of acceptance, right? It's in those opportunities where it can be like, hey, I still don't approve what you're doing. You're still going to put a rupture in our relationship. I'm still going to reach out and try and help you. But, hey, this is why I'm not cool with this. Yeah. So if you want to be around, you know, the rest of the family, whatever the case may be, here's, you know, reason 1, 2, and 3 and what has to change. If you can't respect that, then our relationship can only go so far.
Let me ask you this, because I've seen this firsthand. What if the times that you meet with them, you try to witness to them, telling them that you don't agree with what they're doing, and they tell you, when I meet with you, I don't want to hear it. What do you do then?
Well, I mean, I've been in that situation. You can only hang out with them so much.
You just hang out and pretend like everything is fine?
No, because
you see what I'm saying? It's weird.
Yeah, but here we go. Here we go. I think. No, it is very complex, and every situation is very different. But for me, it's just more the fact of, if they're constantly reaching out and they're looking for something from you.
I mean, we don't know if this is the case, but
exactly, we don't know if this is the case. This is a hypothetical. But if I have a friend who is a drug dealer and they're constantly trying to hang out with me, they're constantly trying to do all these things with me, you know, they need to understand that, yo, you want to be around me and my family, this is the reality of it. Not even that you have to be a Christian, but this is the reality of your actions.
You become a drug dealer, bro, you're not coming to my family.
You know what?
It's just not gonna happen. It's crazy. No.
So for me, I've been in that situation.
I wouldn't. Like, I just
not drug dealing, but
no. But I just.
Hey, you gotta clarify. You never know. No, I've never drugged up. But I've been in that situation, right? And it's like, I've hung out with people like that.
And but they're not coming around your family. You're not gonna bring them around your family.
No, of course not. Never. No.
All right, let's keep going.
Hold up. Let's take a look at some of these comments. They're already coming in pretty good. Patrick says over here, parental rejection is real now. My situation is not going out to live in sin, but I felt that rejection when I told my parents I was getting married. I'd have to share this story in detail one day. Absolutely. Patrick also says, model the story of the prodigal son in this particular situation. Yeah, I agree with Patrick on that one. Did the father's love change when the son wanted his inheritance on while living?
Well, the father didn't go after him. He waited for him, but he wasn't out there like chasing him.
But the father was willing.
No, the father was willing. Well, we're going to talk about that later.
All right. I'm just saying, because the father's position is really what I'm trying to like exemplify. Chetty says, this is a sad situation for sure, and she, as well as her parents need prayer and counseling. I agree. If she were a Christian who has backslidden, then we should probably take harsher measures. And let's see. Imez says, not a parent, but a daughter of great parents. Warn them of consequences, and if they happen, pray for them. But stay in your convictions. But when they truly repent and you see the fruits, then you help. And then Jetty also says, however, folks that are not Christian should be treated differently. And I agree with him.
All right. Good stuff. Let's keep on hearing the story here.
Yeah.
It's a very dreadful thing all around.
Even though she realized that her decision broke her parents' heart, it was clear that she still wanted nothing more than for them to love and accept her. So she tried to stay in contact with them, and she said that this happened.
I went 3 years without speaking to my mom. Like, there was absolutely no communication, and except for she did send me a letter, like an email, that was just saying that I had drifted far from God and that this wasn't his purpose for my life. And I was like, okay, thanks, appreciate that. Like, that's great. I was very hurt by that because it just didn't feel real. I didn't feel like she was being real with me. I felt like she was judging me. And
Okay, I gotta say something here real quick.
Yes.
So 3 years, right?
Yep.
Probably the parents wrestling with what's going on with my daughter, all this stuff.
Yes.
Right. So I am almost 100% sure as a parent myself that her mother reaching out to her and sending that email was her trying to get closer to her in some way, or at least let her know, like, hey, we're still thinking about you. And in that same way, you see that when she did attempt to reach out, she took that as you're judging me, and she didn't take it in a good way whatsoever.
So I look at this in a couple of different ways. This is either it's been the whole 3 years and they haven't spoke, and then she sent the email. I think that is a little tasteless, I guess would be the word, because it's 3 years, you haven't seen your daughter, you haven't spoken with her, and the first thing that you just tell her is that we're extremely disappointed in you, all these different things.
I don't think that's what she said, though.
Is that not what she said? That's how I understood it. So I want to just be clear on that first,
Okay.
because that's like the first view that I take a look at. But then I also take a look at maybe it's been like a year out, and the conversation's still fresh, or maybe it's less than a year, whatever the case may be. And then the mom sends it. That could also be a thing. So I think that type of context would be very different in that one compared to if it's 3 years down the road and the first thing that you say is not even like, or at least how she phrases it. It wasn't even a hello. It wasn't even, we miss you. How are you doing? It's a, hey, you're in sin, blah, 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 blah. I think that is tasteless in somebody that is trying to reach out, trying to have conversations.
Hold on,
right?
let me go back and see, because I just want to make sure that we're seeing right what they say.
my life. And I was like, okay, thanks. And they did send me a letter, like an email, that was just saying that I had drifted far from God and that this wasn't his purpose for my life. And I was like, okay, thanks, appreciate that. Like, that's great.
Okay, so it looks like at least what she's sharing or how she received that it was just like the part about we don't approve.
Yeah, and so that's where I struggle with that, man. Like
in that case, I could see where she would be upset.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, let's keep going.
I was very hurt by that because it just didn't feel real. I didn't feel like she was being real with me. I felt like she was judging me. And I don't deal well with judgment. I'm a very rebellious person when it comes up to judgment. Like, that's just kind of who I am sometimes, which I'm not saying is right. But I really came at it like, I don't care what you say.
Like, that's what you're going to say to me? After all, that's what you're going to say to me?
Well, I'm already on this path. Why not just keep going? And that point in my life, I remember that was when I was like, I have nothing else to lose,
So she only got deeper into adult content at that point, but that was only until something really unexpected happened. After years of doing adult work, she said that she decided to give it all up in order to pursue a relationship with Jesus.
I am now giving it all up for Christ. I am now truly a believer. I would never take it back. God radically saved me from this darkness.
She was baptized, she deleted her OnlyFans account, and she got rid of all of her designer clothes and expensive purchases. But here's where some people are starting to get a little skeptical. You may be wondering if her motivation to leave everything behind and to follow Jesus was simply to get her parents back in her life and to make them proud. I mean, it's clear from listening to her that she missed her parents a lot, and she wanted nothing more than for them to embrace her with open arms, thankful that she finally came to see the light. But then this happened.
In my mind, I expected this change to be like the prodigal son returning, you know?
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, I hope that's something like what it's like to return home whole, and not whole. He didn't come back whole. He came back broken,
Yeah.
But, and then, he comes back to his home, you know, where he belongs, and got an amazing welcome. I'm
And
not
had a
expecting
delicious
feast.
fatted calf. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I wanted that, but it did not happen at all. And it kind of broke my heart a little bit. But
With
I
either
can't-
of your parents, it didn't happen.
So even though she's now at a place where her parents always wanted her to be, it seemed that they were
So, thoughts, dude. I'll tell you, man. Like, I just thought about this as I was watching the video.
Yes.
Like, think about this. You look up your daughter's name online, and all you see is debauchery
Yeah.
and half-naked pictures, if not more. Like that.
Yeah.
Like that has to mess
No,
with your mind, bro.
100%.
Like,
I mean, it's funny because this reminds me, because my wife and I were talking about this.
about this video.
No, not about this. but-
OnlyFans?
No. Yeah, I'm gonna start my own OnlyFans, guys. No, we were talking about what is it gonna be like to love 2 kids. You know, we're expecting another one.
You love one more and one less.
Well, and that was the thing, right?
Just kidding.
You know, it was more of the debate was, as a parent, do you love one more than the other? Do you love them both the same? And I bring this up because it brings me to us understanding what is love and what are the different forms of love, right? Like agape love, unconditional love. There's conditional love. Like, what are the different types of love that we're really looking for and searching for? Because this is where it gets complicated. The type of love that it sounds like she's looking for from her parents is the only type of love that God can truly fulfill. Right? I can be here and blue in the face and say, well, the Christian response is, you know, if she came to Christ, we got to love her unconditionally, but we're humans. We're messed up, we're broken, and we put conditions to everything.
Yeah, but what do you think about her parents' reaction? What do you think about her parents' reaction overall? Well, she gave her life to Christ,
Yes.
apparently, right? She gave up everything and was expecting a big welcome home from her parents. That's not what she got.
So
They're still estranged. It wasn't like
Yeah.
they just welcomed her back. What are your thoughts?
So I struggle with that because I feel like the story of the prodigal son, it's a good example of how God is with us. I do know how also in the word it talks about how God takes our past and throws it, you know, into the sea. It's just this whole idea of where God, you know, forgets all these different things, and kind of like how Merari just wrote right there. It's going to take time to repair the relationship, but I struggle heavily with her parents' response to her. I don't think that was the right.
I don't think
Right,
I
go
do.
with-
I don't think I do.
I do 100%. Dude, if your child is in the dark for whatever amount of years and they finally realize, yo, I've been in the wrong, that at least would bring me a lot of joy. Yes, kind of like how Chetty said earlier, there needs to be some counseling. There's some work that needs to be put in to be able to restore the relationship. But if your child tells you, hey, I hated Christ and now I see him as my savior, that should be some joy already to see, like, okay, my child is starting to walk on the right path. They're starting to seek more of the Lord. Like, this should bring me some joy that my child is now in the light.
I mean, I think that she got that welcome from God, which is what the prodigal son is
Yes.
truly about, right?
Yes.
And I have no doubt in my mind that this is how God received her after she, and it sounds like she like lived in a Christian home, but it doesn't sound that she was actually a Christian. It doesn't. It sounds like after the OnlyFans stuff is when she really came to know Christ and gave her life to Him.
Just because she's a pastor's kid doesn't mean she's a Christian.
I don't know if she's a pastor's kid.
No, she is a
but
pastor's kid.
Is,
Says
is
in
that
the
what it
video.
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because you're a pastor's kid does not mean you're a Christian.
And you know, I think that I'm reminded of Invincible. I don't think you've seen it, but
Not yet. I'm on Spy
So-
Family right now.
yeah. So you know, there's the main character's dad, right? He's like part of this conqueror race, et cetera, right? And it gets to a point where he thinks like the conquerors, because he was sent to Earth to conquer, right? That was the whole thing. And he thinks that they're gonna be coming back, so he starts conquering, like killing everybody. And their mom calls his wife like a pet, basically. So he just goes off, right?
Yeah.
Then, you know, he's fighting his son. He's about to kill him, but he can't do it because obviously he loves him and he leaves, right? And then, another season later, the kid reunites with his father, and obviously he's mad. He's hated him ever since he did that. Yeah. When he meets him in that episode, the first thing that he does is that he hugs him. But then after, he was delighted to see his dad, and then it's like, oh, everything that he did came back to his mind, and he's like, he pushed him away, and they almost started fighting again. So I am sure that your parents were happy that she came to Christ and that she wasn't doing that anymore. But I can completely understand the fact that that relationship wasn't just like, rainbows and butterflies.
And it's not that I'm saying that
I don't know. Maybe you've seen some other videos, but I don't know how that whole interaction played out or what happened. That she didn't get I don't know exactly what her not being welcome as a prodigal son truly means. But I can definitely understand that that relationship wasn't just rosy right after she came to Christ. Yeah, from the parents' perspective.
And it's not that it should be rosy, but it's more of like, okay, now we're on the same page. Now we have enough of a foundation to work off of. And real quick, Patrick, congrats, man. That's awesome. And, I agree with a lot with what Merari says, right? This is kind of sad, though. And, if they're going to constantly hold that against her, why not continue to help her in her decision now to follow Christ? That's what I'm saying, man. Like it brings me to the book of Philemon. Like, if you know the story of Philemon, this is Paul writing a letter to a slave master saying, hey, your slave ran away. He's with me. I'm sending him back to you. I'm vouching for him. Take it in.
The question is, how was Philemon received?
We don't know, but think about it. Think about it, man. In that time, me assuming, right? But I'm assuming if somebody runs away as a slave and they go back to the master probably has full right to beat them. I mean, no, not to kill him, because we know that Philemon was a believer. Though?
Reminds you of it in what way?
It reminds me of the fact of how Paul writes to say, well, this is how you should receive your brother in the faith, even though he's done you wrong, right? This is now your brother in Christ. So I feel like Philemon is a really good example for us, and this even speaks to me, right? Of somebody who has done us wrong, but they've come to light, they know Christ, and so we have to still be able to receive them as part of the family.
Yeah, It sounds I'm like taking the other side, because I think that the way that you're coming at it, and I'm not knocking you for it, but I think that that's the optimal way that we should act as Christians, Christ like in that fashion. Yeah. But at the same time, like, you're a human being, your actions have consequences, and I am sure that within these 3 years there were things said that hurt each other's relationships.
Of course.
So from that perspective, even if somebody wronged you, you can love them and still stay away from them. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I'm doing that right now.
I think that for her, it's like she wanted things to go back to maybe how they were, for her to be that little girl that they embrace and all that.
Yeah, that's different.
And I think that's gonna, God willing, it will take time, and they can get to a point where it's not the same as it was before, but it's new, and it's, God willing, loving. But at the same time, like everything else, your actions have consequences. Like as you're reminded of Philemon, I'm reminded of Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Where they sinned, they disobeyed against God. God had mercy, loved them, clothed them, but yet their sin had consequences. And that was that separation that happened with God. Not only that, but also the punishment, which was what came after, when the childbearing became more difficult for women. Yeah. Men now had to work and labor the land. So for me, it's like, I just think, like, sometimes as Christians, we take like, oh yeah, we should be loving, and like we don't fully like think of the entire picture and really how the real world is. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't aspire to be like Christ, but at the same time, like, when you betray somebody, like, there's gonna be some scars, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I agree with you 100%. That's why it's like, you know, it really comes down to if only we knew the whole thing of the conversation. So like based off of what you said, right? You can still love somebody but keep distance with them. Like that's something that like I'm practicing right now with certain people. I think it is possible to still, though, knowing that, you know, if this person's hurt me and, you know, I'm going to keep the space and that's it, it's better that we don't get together. That's still okay. But at the end of the day, a lot of it does have to be, in my opinion, we do have to remove ourselves and sometimes our own pain and trauma in the sense of, okay, I might be frustrated with this person with what they did to me years ago, but at least now they know Christ.
Yeah.
And even if we can't build our relationship or whatever the case may be, they may, you know, that's a reality for some people.
Yeah.
But they now know Christ. Like we also have to remember that a lot of the things that we get offended for and stuff like that, it really is so minute to the fact of if this person doesn't know Christ, they're going to hell. And I feel like us as Christians, because, you know, here in America, we're so me sometimes. It is so much, well, do not touch God's anointed. And if, you know, you offend, you know, the chosen of God, he's going to ring hellfire on you, when God calls us to pray for our enemies instead. It's possible that, yeah, she probably was enemies with her parents. Now, we don't know their internal hearts, if they prayed for her or not. We hope so. This is difficult because we're hearing only her side about it and how she felt by it. But sometimes being that loving and being that separate away is going to maybe makes other people feel like this too. That's the other side of it.
Yeah, I think that so let me clear something up because I'm seeing some comments. Chetty said like it's unfair to judge this or dissect the situation because we don't know the whole story. I'm disagreeing with that. And just so you guys understand, the whole purpose of bringing this up is to talk about principles. And I thought that this would be a great discussion for us to have.
Yeah.
Because even though we may not know the full story, there are some real human interactions happening here, right? Yeah. Somebody, in a sense, betraying their parents, not listening to their parents, leaving, coming back, expecting a hero's welcome after giving their lives to Christ. That's not what they're seeing, and it wasn't what they were expecting. So I think that at some level, we are all going to experience some of that. And I think that for me, what I found that would be very helpful for all of us to go through and to think about is the fact that there is the standard that God sets when it comes to how we should be forgiving and loving and merciful. And another thing is how it actually plays out in real life and the struggles that we're going to have as Christians in fighting our flesh. Because her parents, at the end of the day, God willing, will come to terms with the fact that she understands that she made a mistake and she came to Christ, and they're going to have to deal with that. You know? Sure. Let's see here.
I want to pull up real quick the verse that Pat put in the chat. Put Psalms 27 verses 9 to 10.
So while you look at that, Janelle is saying, I'm with Andre's song regardless of what might have happened in the past. I believe that the fact that this person recognized they're wrong, repented and came to Christ should bring some joy. Oh no, yeah, 110%.
So real quick, do not turn your back on me. Do not reject your servant in anger. You have always been my helper. Do not leave me now. Don't abandon me, O God of my salvation. Even if my father and mother abandon me, the Lord will hold me close. That's where that is. I always reference this verse and I forget where it's at. That's an important one right there, because in the flip side of this should be, you know, part of her foundation for her, that even if her parents decide not to forgive her, right? Because again, we're humans, and a lot of things that we're saying, you know, is strong convictions we feel for somebody else, but if it happens to us, we don't necessarily know how we're going to react. Yeah. But this should be her conviction right there. Let's catch some of the other comments that we missed too. We got a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for the most part we kind of covered it. I don't want to kind of like go back, but you know what I'll say is this: is that I understand the fact that their relationship is not whole currently, my hope is that ultimately God will work on both the parties' lives.
Absolutely.
That He will soften those hearts, and that ultimately they can, have some sort of relationship at some point.
Yeah.
But it's also a fair warning for all of us that, dude, your actions have real consequences. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
they do. Yes, they do. And it's
Hard truth.
consequences that could, affect you even for years to come.
110%. And before we move on, because we have some anime questions to ask here, Chitty's saying, did her parents have a tight relationship with her before all of this? Was this an outcry due to mommy and daddy issues that were unresolved?
It seems like that. I don't think she goes. Again, I'd have to finish the video at home, but I don't know.
I think that that entire interview was out somewhere. I think.
Yeah, we'd have to find it. So it is tough to say, brother. I definitely don't know.
Yeah, pray for
her,
for those families.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just so much.
There's a lot there.
There's a lot of ways that the world is trying to get, is trying to destroy families and is trying to get at our kids. And I think that, these are things that we as parents having young children can definitely learn from, keep in the back of our minds, and ultimately prayerfully raise our children and hope that they one day truly find Christ.
Yeah, this is a good example of how a walk with Christ is individual. There is no I'm going to be saved because of my grandmother's faith or my parents' faith. The walk is individual. That's the biggest thing right there.
Amen.
But switching gears into something a little bit more lighter.
I got a question for you.
Go right ahead.
All right. So, not many things are guaranteed in life.
Absolutely.
One is that Vegeta will always hurt his arm in battle.
Absolutely. He's always going to be holding on.
And I saw an article. The other day that said that Goku has never actually beat Vegeta, like in an actual fight.
Majin Buu saga.
Yeah. No.
Actually, Vegeta was smoking him there.
Yeah, supposedly, but he was holding back.
Yeah.
So Goku has never beat Vegeta. However, I think that there is one place that Vegeta beats Goku, and I want to hear your thoughts, and that is in the family realm. Who won the Dad Award or Family Man Award when it comes to Vegeta and Goku?
Vegeta.
Who has
Vegeta's a better father.
Led their family more righteously, more godly.
Vegeta's a better father.
How so? Tell me why.
Because he actually played with Trunks, took him to a park. I don't know if you remember that.
Gohan played with Goku played with Gohan. Like
when?
The start of Dragon Ball, he's like fishing with him and driving around in the Magic School Bus. Flying.
Listen, the fact that Vegeta trained Trunks, right?
Patrick is like neither.
The fact that
Goku also trained Gohan.
No, he didn't. His
Yes,
father
he did.
Piccolo trained him.
No, he went in the hyperbolic time chamber. He trained him.
Way after
In
the
Cell.
fact.
Yeah,
Way after
I
I
don't-
know, way after the fact.
It's neck and neck right now, bro.
For me, it's the fact that also Vegeta's like, fine, I'll take you to the kids thing. The whole Vegeta hugging Trunks for the first time, although that's the good and bad example. Right?
The only time he hugged this kid.
I know, right?
All right.
Was before he killed himself for his son.
Vegeta beats Goku for one simple fact.
Why?
He actually kisses Bulma, and Goku never kisses Chi-Chi.
Oh my gosh.
Showing that Vegeta is more affectionate with his wife than Goku is.
Akira Toriyama. What were you thinking, brother?
Goku, there's
Rest
a
in
point for
peace.
those of you that are not familiar. There's a point in the anime where Vegeta, I think he brings up kissing somehow, and then Goku's
that's in
like,
Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, Goku's like, what's
So
kissing?
This guy in the orange has 2 kids and claims to have never kissed his wife.
Yeah, he just did the dirty, and he didn't want to kiss her.
So you tell me how that one works out.
So I'm saying that's the only reason why I think Vegeta
That's
wins.
ridiculous. Ridiculous.
All right. Wait, let's see. What does Patrick say? Vegeta trains too much. The episode when he spends time with his family, he got annoyed. Goku would be the fun dad, but he gets easily sidetracked. True.
No,
Fun
Goku
facts.
would start training and Chi-Chi would start yelling at him. That's exactly what would happen.
All right, this is a question for you specifically. I came up with this one.
You're horrible for this question.
So
this is hard.
here it is. So
This is a very difficult.
So
one for me.
Anderson loves Bleach. God only knows
Yes.
why, because that anime is trash.
No, it's not.
And
Way better than Fairy Tail.
And he loves Yu Yu Hakusho because he
Love
loves
that series.
watching ghosts and being a Satanist, and he,
Oh, here we go.
bringing
Here
all
we
this
go.
ghost and stuff.
I like
do you-
90s anime,
Do you
bro.
even read your Bible, bro? What,
do.
What do you like all this ghosts and spirits and all that?
Bro,
are you
listen,
Christian? Are you
listen.
Christian?
As a Christian, man, there is a whole spiritual element
As a
to this
Christian,
walk.
I love to enjoy in spirits and
I'm not doing
incantations.
seances and crap like that. What's wrong with you?
All right. So here is the question. The question is, who does it better? If you had to choose for one of these two animes, one of these has to go. Which one? Which one goes and which one stays?
Go?
You got to think about this, man.
No, I already know the answer. It just breaks my heart to say, but I'd keep Yu Yu Hakusho.
You would keep Yu Yu Hakusho over Bleach?
Yeah, I would.
That is interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I've seen Yu Yu Hakusho pretty much beginning to end. I've seen enough Bleach to know that it sucks. So
You're
I guess
stupid.
I guess
No,
I guess
no,
I guess I
no,
would agree with you. I mean,
No, listen.
dude, after they did the whole like vampire thing, it just kind of went downhill for a while.
You watched that was
Yeah.
some filler. No,
That was all garbage.
no,
and
no,
it
no,
just,
no,
like,
no,
went
no.
downhill.
So I skipped. all
You
the
already
fillers.
said that it has to go, so I don't know what you're defending in that.
No, I'm just saying though. Like you can continue, just skip all the fillers. There's only like one filler arc that's good. Yu Yu Hakusho for me,
I think they should redo the ending of Yu Yu Hakusho, and I think it'd be better.
well, part of the problem with Yu Yu Hakusho, again, this is the same guy that made Hunter x Hunter. Just the animation studios were rushing him, and so he got frustrated. So he just like the ending, he just like rushed it all. Like he says in an interview, he purposely rushed it all because he hates being rushed to do work. So I would love to see him take the last two arcs and do them out the way he wanted it done.
I will
originally.
say, I feel though that just based on the world, the universe, I think that Bleach's universe is more interesting than Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I will say that.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
There's
for
more
me,
to explore.
For me, it's a nostalgia pull because
Right in your bosom.
Yep, because I was watching that on Toonami's Adult Swim, man. Like Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the first animes I've ever seen, and dude, that intro, nobody can top that intro, man. Not even Bluebird from Naruto.
It's a good intro. It's a good intro for sure.
Very good intro.
All right, last question.
Yeah.
Question. Demon Slayer.
Love it.
I know. Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
love
Me
it.
too. But the question is, and I was thinking about this today, and
I mean, you would like Yu Yu Hakusho.
and I don't
Watch
know
it.
why, but the question is,
Yes.
do you believe
Yeah.
that a demon can be saved? Like, can they get salvation?
No, not at all.
Why not?
You're done. You're done.
Why not?
You're done. No.
So you're saying the Tanjiro's sister can never be
Going to hell.
saved? She's
Going to hell.
going to hell.
Going to hell.
She's not gonna have an opportunity to meet Christ.
Hold up, Jetty, real quick, just
What
so
is-
you know
what
what
is-
we're talking about.
What is
What?
Tanjiro's sister's name?
Oof. I need to rewatch the series, so I forget.
What's it? Oh man!
So, Chetty,
it's
this
in,
is
like,
a-
It's in like the tip of my. Forget about Chetty. It's in the tip of my tongue. Dude, Nezuko.
Nezuko.
So you're saying that Nezuko
She's going to hell.
will never have the opportunity to be saved
She's
by
burning.
Jesus? There's
Done.
no salvation for her at all.
done.
Why not? Why not?
You're done.
Why not? Why not?
Because she's a demon.
So why can demons be saved?
Demons cannot be saved, bro.
Why?
Because Revelation talks about how there's a specific place for them. You know, well, and so this
all
is the thing,
demons.
right? This is the thing where people get jacked up. Hell is not just fire, right?
Yeah,
the lake of fire
yeah.
that Revelation talks about, that's a specific place.
By the way,
there's
there's a biblical purpose to this.
Yeah.
By the way, but I'm just curious to see if on this one we'll get to the right answer here.
So the lake of fire, right? That is the place set apart for the fallen angels and everything else. That's where they go.
Okay.
Specifically, angels don't have a soul angels and demons don't have a soul like we do. They're being created for one specific purpose.
So demons can't repent?
No.
So there's no salvation for them at all? No. Christ can't save them?
When they got shut down from
heaven...
Can't
Christ do anything?
When they got shut down from heaven, as it is described, I think it's either in Ezekiel or Daniel where it's described.
But these demons were human ones, and then they got turned into demons. So these were humans turned into demons.
Yeah, the only real thing we ever hear of something similar to that is the Nephilim. And even that's kind of shaky. Because the Bible's not really clear on... Actually, no, it is. The fallen angels they took on Mary and women, and they married and had children. Yeah. But even that's kind of shaky. That's now tinfoil hat stuff.
So, all right.
And so, yes, Merari, that's what he's asking.
Okay,
a fictional character can find salvation.
Well, so to bring some clarity to, because I thought this would be an interesting exercise, right? So in Demon Slayer, these demons are like vampires in a way, not the whole like garlic and can't walk during. Well,
they just can't be in the sun.
Yeah, they can't be in the sun. That is one similarity, but like vampires, these are humans that are getting turned into demons.
Yes.
So from that fictional perspective, though, I feel like there may be some way for the human side to find salvation somehow, potentially.
Just put some holy water on them.
Maybe if you can revert them back to the humanity somehow. Because so here's the thing. Like, obviously Jesus came for humanity. So if you're not human, then you can't be saved, right?
Yes.
But here's the thing, and this is what I wanted to talk about, is you pretty much got it. Like, demons, actual demons in the Bible, they're fallen angels, right? So completely different than obviously what we see in anime, where we have angels that rebelled against God, and for them, as cruel as it sounds, there is no like going back. Like, these dudes are just,
bro, they're done.
They're done.
They're done.
Like, there's no...
They knew the consequences of their actions, and they still went ahead and were like, yeah, no, we're still going to follow Lucifer, and then now here we are. Here's what we got to deal with.
So there's no redemption for Satan? There's no redemption for any of the demons that followed him?
No way.
They're done.
Are we going for show context or real world context? Because you're flipping and I'm confused.
We're talking about for a little bit.
Manny's on crack. A demon-possessed human can be saved for sure. The demon themselves, however, no.
Yo, that is a good point. What if, Chetty, look at that. You don't even like anime, but you're bringing it. What if these humans are they were possessed, and that's why they became demons. So if you can exorcise the demon out of them, then they can be saved, right?
Only way that would work. Now, in real life, right? We don't have demons that get fire power. We don't have demon possessed people that get fire powers and all these different things. We have demons.
They're super strong and tall and big. So,
people that are demon possessed can exhibit unnatural strength and stuff like that too. So that's also
there. You go. It's legit, bro. What are you talking
about? Not to this anime demon. All right.
Well, obviously not. But
a demon possessed person can be exorcised.
That was a good contribution though, because like if we can exorcise the demon out of the demons in Demon Slayer, I think there's a way to save them.
It's been a while since I've last seen one, but yeah,
I need
somebody.
Michael, where are you? Michael like got in the chat and then he left. He could have added some good.
No, Michael.
Dude, right at the beginning, I think.
He was.
Yeah.
You're right.
Michael,
probably basically with
this is what you get for leaving early. This would have been your time to shine. You failed us. Anyways, it's getting late.
Yep.
It is 9:55.
It's an early day for me tomorrow.
Yep. Not going to the gym. Slacking.
Nope.
Chetty's not showing up. He's using his baby as an excuse. Janiel, don't sleep over your alarm again, buddy. I'm gonna be waiting for you. We'll see. Man, we'll see you there too. We're gonna get you on that gym grind too.
Man's at work right now. Chetty said his night just started.
This is why he's joining us now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do like a late night once my kid comes up. Maybe we'll get up and do like a Teams or a live at like 1:00 in the morning.
I'd be down.
I kid you not. I'm gonna catch up on all my anime once like my kid is born. 100%.
It's either that. I'm definitely gonna bring my PlayStation from the basement upstairs.
Bro, I'm gonna be going live, and I'm gonna be giving like daily updates as I catch up on anime.
You and I both got a lot of anime we gotta catch up on. So my kid's coming in the fall, so I'll have some time to
fun
watch too.
At least like we're taking turns, so that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. I had fun. Hopefully you guys had some fun and enjoyed our craziness for today.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us. And as always,
remember that
we must
persevere.
Peace.
Night, guys.